Did you know 87% of professional athletes go broke just 5 years after they retire? Come on now. All right, so listen, I'm talking to my athletes. So you guys know, as a investment strategist for TCU men's basketball and the football team there, I get an opportunity to talk to young men that are making life-changing money literally every day. So these are the top 10 things that I try and tell them and teach them so they can understand how people are looking at them and how they can keep their bag from being empty after 5 years. So the first one is everyone's going to look at you as a cash cow. Everybody. Your mama, your daddy, your uncle, your cousin, everybody's looking at you as a cash cow. So they're going to come and they're going to have ideas and they're going to have, business propositions and all of these things that are surefire, except for it needs your money to be lit. So remember, don't give all your money away. You're the one that's spending the time in the gym. You're the one that's lifting the weights. You're the one that's spending time learning from the coach and being on the field or on the court. So you shouldn't be a cash cow. You don't owe anybody anything. Say it with me. I don't owe anybody anything. Number 2, take care of mom and dad, but everyone else can fend for themselves. I remember when I first made a little bit of money, and my last name is Quigley, right? So ain't a whole lot of brothers out here named Quigley. All of a sudden, I started getting all these DMs and people hitting me up, and they were like, yeah, I think we cousins. Oh, really, right? I don't think so. So take care of mom and dad. Everybody else, let them figure it out for themselves. Your first check doesn't normally come until a few months after you make that first commitment, by the way. And so I've had a chance to work with the NFL Retired Players Association for a couple of years back in the day. By the way, worst job ever. I hated that job. Anyway, what a lot of players would do is when they sign their contract, they would go out and go make a big purchase. Well, the key is it's 3 or 4 months before you actually get any money in your account. So they go make the purchase, and then the first payment is due on the house or the car or the boat, and they don't have the money. And people are like, why does this millionaire not have any money in his account? Well, it just hadn't hit yet. So be careful. Use that 3 or 4 months to figure out what it is that you really need to live off of. And for that first year, most rookies don't really need much anyway. So don't go spend a bunch of money with your first contract, okay? Wait that 3 or 4 months and then figure it out. Now, this is one that's true for me. Exotic cars are not good investments. Okay. Now, again, I always talk about making investments or making purchases with your dividend-paying portfolio. So if your dividend-paying portfolio is fat and nice and it's kicking out 15, 17, 20,000, then go buy you a Lamborghini. That's all good. Don't use the principal, though. Go ahead and make sure you're using that dividend-paying portfolio to do that. But things like cars are liabilities. They're not assets. They look good. They're going to cause a lot of people to give you attention, and that's what we want as young people, right? I'm not too far removed to remember when I first got out of the military. My last year in the military, I may have made $35,000, putting my life on the line, Iraq war, all of that stuff, right? I went from making $35,000 my last year in the military to making over $100,000, and now I'm a white-collar worker. I wasn't going to go fight wars and get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and go run every morning and do all these things, right? I was just a regular white-collar worker, and I'm making over $100,000. So what did I do? I went and bought me a new Mercedes. I went downtown. I was in Georgetown. I went downtown and bought me a $5,000 suit. Why? Because I could. I got the money. I worked hard for this, right? So try and stay away from those liabilities as much as possible. Find some folks in your life that can mentor you, that can be your accountability partners so you don't blow your bag. Number 6, stay away from casinos, okay? And I'll add to that meme coins too, right? But stay away from casinos, man. Whenever you start to let that thread of gambling become part of you, you're always going to lose. There's a reason why the casino is this tall and your house is this tall, right? because they never lose. By the way, craps is the only game you can bet with the casino in there. So that's a whole nother podcast. Number 7, a large home is not a necessity, especially if it's just you. If you're not married or you're not bringing your family or along with you for that first, contract when you're going to go play in Jacksonville or something like that, right? You don't need a big place. Rent an apartment. You don't even have to buy a house. Just rent an apartment, figure out where you really want to be, if you want to be there, because because you play for a team doesn't mean that you have to live there, right? You got 20 weeks of the season, and then you can go wherever you want in the world. So don't worry about buying a big house as soon as you get that first contract, okay? Number 8, let your dividends pay for your extravagant items. I kind of talked about that already when I was talking about the exotic cars, right? So building up a portfolio that kicks you out dividends every month will allow you to be able to be in a position where you can be a little extravagant, right? I still want you to budget, but that allows you to be a little more extravagant because, again, your principal is protected. Number 9, if you don't understand the investment, don't do it. I talk to guys all the time. They're like, oh, yeah, my cousin wants to start a restaurant. I'm like, oh, okay. Sounds like a good idea. So is he a chef? Well, no, he worked at McDonald's one time. No. Oh, okay. Is he actually putting in on the investment? Well, no, he needs my money, but he's going to run it. Oh, okay. All right. So he has a business degree. You should have started with that. No, he had a GED. And I'm not knocking a GED, but you know what I'm saying. I'm saying if someone's trying to tell you how to manage their money, but they have none, then they probably shouldn't be your money manager, okay? So don't be a idiot when it comes to that. Number 10. That was number 10. I'm giving you some bonuses. So number 11. Intern with a financial advisor firm. And if you're in college, there's so many opportunities for you to do internships. Just because you're a player, just because you're a student athlete, does not mean that you can't take advantage of what regular students get a chance to do in the summer as well. Find an internship. They love players like you. It makes them look good to bring someone like you to be a part of the team. So you let them use your smiling face to take a couple of pictures, and you go in there and actually learn the game. So intern with a financial advisor. Number 12, the more you get, the more you will spend. It's just natural, right? We like nice things. We live in a society where there's a lot of status put on stuff. So you're going to want to go buy you a nice bracelet. I get it. You're going to want a chunked out chain so when you go out, people know you're a baller. I get it. It doesn't have to be real, though. I remember a few years ago, Tyrese was talking about the jewelry that he wears. And he said when he was in his 20s, he used to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on jewelry. He would get it stolen, lost, leave it at somebody's house, like all this crazy stuff. And he said he finally got to the point after he did Fast and the Furious and he got like some real money. And he was like, yeah, I'm just going to go to Claire's and buy, the fake diamond earrings and all of that stuff. People like Tyrese because he can sing, he can dance, he's a great actor, he's a great human being. They don't care anything about, whether or not his necklace is real or not. So don't get caught up on the hype. Do what you need to do for yourself. Number 13. Man, this is a tough one here. I might shed a tear. Don't have any children out of wedlock. There's this line item when you start getting paid, and it says CHSP. It's CHSP. It stands for child support. All right. I remember the first time I got introduced to CHSP, and I was like, yeah, man, I done messed up. I would never say my son was a mistake, but I wasn't planning on having any kids at 22. But that child support, man, it will eat you alive. Think about it. It's 18 years of payments. And, of course, the more you make, the more they're going to take. So put yourself in a position where you're protecting what you have and don't have a bunch of kids, okay? I know some players out there that got 10 kids. I know a dude right now has 10 kids under 18. And, yeah, his check be short in the mug. All right, number 15. Like I said, 87% of athletes end up going broke after 5 years. There's a guy named Adrian Peterson. I used to love Adrian Peterson, man. He played for the Minnesota Vikings, and, this guy made over $100 million. I saw recently he had a birthday party where he flew 320 people. I think it was to Dubai. We were just talking about Dubai, right? 320 people, first class. He set them up in the hotel. It was a great birthday party, I imagine, for him. And he spent, got himself some lavish gifts and all of this kind of stuff, right? But this is the kicker. He borrowed $5 million for the party. Yeah. So he made $100 million. He spent that, went borrowed $5 million, had a birthday party with it. Make it make sense, y'all. So now that $5 million, because it has interest attached to it, and a loan of that size, probably 25, 30%, now it's turned into $7 million, and he had to file bankruptcy. These are the things that are really happening in real time. So I know you're probably sitting there like, I would never do that. Well, Adrian Peterson probably thought he would never do that as well. But we get caught up, we get in this lifestyle, and when the money's not moneying like it used to, you still want to live that lifestyle. Invest early, and you can live like you want to for the rest of your life. You don't have to worry about money. But if you spend your money, then you retire, then you're trying to figure it out, it's not going to pan out very well, and we can see that in the statistics. So listen, like the video, share it with a young athlete. I work with a ton of young athletes. We'll come out, we'll speak to them. If they have a program set up, we'll come out and talk NIL. That's what we love to do. So send this to the coaches out there, send this to the administrators, send this to the ADs, and especially send it out to the players. We'll see you on the next episode. Think and Grow Rich.